What if I told you that one of the greatest military commanders in history has been almost completely erased from the history books? Not Napoleon, not Wellington. A black man, born enslaved on a Caribbean island, who rose to become a general of the French Republic. A man who Napoleon himself feared. So why have you never heard his name? Stay with me, because this story will change how you see history forever. The year is 1762. On the island of Saint-Domingue, now Haiti, a baby is born. His mother is Marie-Cécile Dumas, an enslaved black woman. His father is a French nobleman. The boy is given the name Thomas-Alexandre, and from the very start, his life refuses to be ordinary. At 14, his father brings him to France. He's educated, he learns to fight, he becomes one of the most gifted swordsmen in all of Paris. But here's the thing. In pre-revolutionary France, being of African descent meant you were still considered less than, even with a nobleman for a father. So in 1786, Thomas-Alexandre makes a decision that stuns everyone around him. He enlists in the French army as a private soldier, not as an officer, not under his father's prestigious name, as a common soldier under his mother's name, Dumas. Within just 6 years, he rises from private all the way to general, the fastest rise in French military history at the time. He commands thousands of men. He wins battle after battle. His soldiers called him the Black Devil. His enemies feared just hearing his name. And the French Revolution, it gave men like Dumas a door that had never existed before. A door that said, it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is what you can do. The year is 1797. Napoleon Bonaparte is rising fast, ambitious, brilliant, and hungry for power. He leads a daring campaign through Italy and the Alps, and commanding the advance guard of that very campaign, Thomas-Alexandre Dumas. There's one moment that defines Dumas as a legend. At the Battle of Brixen, he and his small unit are completely surrounded, cut off by Austrian forces, outnumbered, outgunned. Most commanders would have retreated. Dumas charged, alone. On horseback, he held a bridge against an entire enemy regiment, fighting so ferociously that the Austrians called him the Horatius of the Tyrol, after a legendary Roman warrior who held a bridge by himself. Napoleon himself wrote about Dumas, called him extraordinary, one of nature's warriors. But here's where it gets complicated, because two great men in the same room rarely ends well. By 1898, Napoleon drags Dumas into the Egyptian campaign, and this is where their friendship begins to crack. Dumas sees what Napoleon is really building, not liberty, not equality, an empire, and he refuses to stay silent. He speaks out against Napoleon's methods, against the treatment of prisoners, against the ambition that's starting to look a lot more like dictatorship than revolution. And Napoleon doesn't forgive men who challenge him. Dumas tries to sail back to France in 1799. His ship is caught in a storm. He's forced to land in southern Italy, under the control of the Kingdom of Naples. And there, he's thrown in prison. For 2 years, he's held in a dungeon. There are accounts that he was slowly poisoned, experiments performed on him. He enters that prison a warrior. He leaves it a broken man. And while Dumas wastes away in a prison cell, Napoleon seizes power, crowns himself emperor, and begins systematically erasing the very laws that had made Dumas' rise possible in the first place. In 1801, Dumas finally makes it back to France. He petitions Napoleon's government for back pay, for pension, for the basic respect owed to a general who gave everything for his country. Napoleon's government ignores every letter.
Thomas-Alexandre Dumas dies in 1806. He's just 43 years old, worn out, unpaid, and forgotten. He leaves behind a wife, Marie-Louise, and a small boy who is just 4 years old at the time of his death. That little boy, his name is Alexandre Dumas. He grows up and writes The Three Musketeers and the Count of Monte Cristo, two of the most famous adventure novels in human history. He based his greatest heroes on memories of his father. The Three Musketeers, the Count of Monte Cristo, a wrongfully imprisoned hero who escapes and reclaims his identity against a corrupt system. Sound familiar? Alexandre Dumas was writing about his father. He just had to disguise him as a fictional character because the real story had been buried. Napoleon's government didn't just fail Dumas, they rewrote him out of history. Portraits were ordered destroyed, his military records suppressed. For nearly 2 centuries, one of the greatest soldiers France ever produced was a ghost. But here's the thing about history: it doesn't stay buried forever. In 2009, France finally erected a statue of General Dumas in Paris. Bronze, towering, unapologetic. A man born enslaved, who fought for a revolution that promised liberty, who outran, outfought, and outlasted every obstacle history put in his way. And yet, to be betrayed by the very system he helped build. And yet, here he stands. History is full of people like Thomas-Alexandre Dumas, extraordinary individuals who were written out of the story. But the more we talk about them, the harder they become to erase. If this story moved you, share it. One share might introduce someone to a man they should have learned about in school. And if you want to know who else history forgot, hit subscribe. We dig up the stories the textbooks left behind. See you in the next one.